right, well, we have people hopping on, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. I first wanted to talk just really briefly about the video that you guys did last week. I think you did the restorative video, and it may have been the first time where you used the props and you lay for a longer period of time. And I wanted to just introduce you guys to that because we've kind of been talking about the different types of yoga, and we're not going to do them all in this class, obviously. But I think some of you guys really liked that one. And for me, restorative yoga is really great. Like if you do a really hard workout, it's a nice thing to do just to kind of relax and let your body rest. If you're feeling stressed, maybe like you have been this week. So I think some of you guys really enjoyed it, and I hope you continue to just explore that type of yoga. I also wanted to touch briefly on the article that you read last week about pranayama, the different types of breathing exercises. So we're not going to do most of those in this class. Some of those techniques are pretty advanced and pretty challenging. But the one we are going to do today is the alternate nostril breathing. I remember the first time I was ever introduced this in a yoga class, I thought the teacher was crazy. So if you think I'm a little nutty this morning, that's fine. You can go tell all your friends, my yoga teacher did this weird thing today. But I find for me, this breathing exercise, we're going to open and close the nostrils with our hand. I find it to be really helpful because it makes me focus. I can't think about anything else because I have to think about what's going on with my hand and opening and closing the nostrils. So just to show you, we have people still hopping on. They're going to be like, what's going on? But I'm going to keep talking. So just do this with me. I'm going to show you the hand position. So take your right hand and take your pointer finger and your middle finger just down towards your palm so that your thumb and your ring finger are pointing up. And then you'll take your thumb and just put it on your right nostril crease. You don't have to close the nostril yet, just set the thumb there, and then ring finger to left nostril crease. So both nostrils are open here to start. And then let's just practice the hand position. So close the right nostril with the thumb, keep the left nostril open. And then you're just going to change that. So close the left nostril and open the right. Close the right, open the left. Close left, open the right. So you're just going to kind of move back and forth like that. You can release your hand for a second. And I'll guide you through it, but the breath is kind of going to go like this. It's going to go up and down and up and down. So whenever you're inhaling and exhaling, that nostril is going to stay open. I'll guide the opening and closing for maybe 2 or 3 cycles, and then I'm just going to say inhale right, exhale left. So know that when I'm telling you to inhale or exhale, that nostril is going to be open. So let's give it a shot. So take your right hand back into that position, pointer finger and middle finger down. Thumb to right nostril crease, ring finger to left nostril crease. I'm going to close my eyes, but you're welcome to watch me, and if you get comfortable, you can close your eyes, okay? So close your right nostril. Inhale through the left. Close the left, open the right, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close right, open left, exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Close left, open right, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close right, open left, exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Close left, open right, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close right, open left, exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. And exhale through the left. Just release your hand to your lap. Take an inhale through both nostrils. Exhale again through the nose. One more breath like that. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. And then if your eyes are closed, you can open them. For those of you that I can see, easy, hard, not sure how that was. Give me a little like hand position. No one. Yeah. I find that the more you practice this one, like anything, the easier it gets. And like I said, for me, not only does it help me focus and stop thinking about everything that's going on, which right now there's a lot, right? I find it to also be very calming. So maybe some of you guys felt that way as well. We're gonna go ahead and get started moving. We're gonna start on our backs today. We have two poses. They both are pretty, what am I trying to say? They require flexibility in the hamstrings. So I will give you some options for them to keep the knees bent. You'll see when we do them. I think they're kind of challenging poses, but they're accessible. You can all do them if you modify. So we'll go ahead and start on the back. Once you're on your back, you can just hug your knees towards your chest. Just pause there with the knees hugged in. Maybe take a little bit of movement, rocking side to side, or circling the knees around a little bit. And then just bring the knees to stillness. Keep the right knee hugged in. Extend the left leg onto the mat. So we're just going to take some passive holds here in the beginning, just starting to ease our body into some different shapes. So as you hold your body still, just bring your focus to your breath. Maybe you stay right here. Maybe hands go behind your right thigh and you start to straighten your right leg towards the ceiling any amount. So maybe you have a little bend in that knee. I do this morning because it's early and I'm feeling a little stiff. And then if the leg is straight, just rebend it, hug the knee back towards the center of the chest. And then again, you can stay there or you can reach your hand for the outside of your right foot or maybe the back of your right knee and hug your right knee in toward your armpit as the sole of the foot faces up towards the ceiling. And then just hug that right knee back to the center of the chest. Bring the left knee up to meet it and just pause for a breath. Both knees hugged in. Maybe just noticing if the right and the left sides feel any different. And then keep the left knee hugged in. Extend the right leg onto the mat. And then again, you can stay there, or take the hands behind the left thigh, straighten the left leg up towards the ceiling any amount. Just continuing to keep the focus on the breath. Maybe noticing if you can keep the breath soft. Maybe you feel the back of the left leg start to relax a little bit. And then if the leg is straight, just bend the left knee, hug it back towards the chest. And then take the left hand to the outside of the left foot, or maybe the back of the left knee as you hug that left knee into the armpit. And then hug the left knee back into the center of the chest. Bring the right knee up to meet the legs to the right for a simple twist. While we're holding here, I'll tell you guys on my Tuesday class, I got kicked out of Zoom at the very, very end when they were laying on their backs. So hopefully that doesn't happen this morning. If I disappear, I'll try to get back on. And then try your knees up through center, drop them over to the other side. And then bring the knees back up to center, hug them in towards the chest. And then you can rock straight up and down along the length of the spine, or maybe you roll yourself off to the side, just to come all the way up to a seated position. Just comfortable cross-leg position here. Sit up nice and tall, lifting up through the top of the head. And then just take your chin down towards your chest, roll the right ear to the right shoulder. And then take the chin to the chest, left ear, left shoulder. And then bring the chin to the chest, lift the head up to neutral. Just change the cross of the legs so the opposite shin comes in front. And then once you have that, spin your fingertips towards the backs of the hands will be facing the sides of the rib cage. So a little stretch of the wrists here. And you can determine the intensity by how high or low your hands are along the torso. And then keep the fingertips spinning down, just spin the palms of the hands towards the sides of the rib cage. And then finally, keep the palms of the hands spinning towards the body. Just take your fingertips up towards the ceiling and then take the hands to the sides. For me, I have to take them pretty low down towards the waist just because of the angle of the wrists here. And then you can just release that. Take some circles with the wrists and the hands, anything that might feel good for you. And then make your way up into tabletop. So going to hands and knees, stack the shoulders over the wrists and the hips over the knees. We'll start with some cat-cow. So inhale, extend the chest forward, drop the belly. Exhale, press into the hands, round the spine. Inhale, extend forward. Exhale, curl and round. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl and round. And then just come to a neutral spine. Extend your right leg back behind you with the ball of the right foot resting on the mat. And just press the right heel gently back to the back of the mat. So a little stretch in the calf. And then just lift that leg up so it's parallel to the mat. Cross the foot over the body so the ball of the right foot lands at the back left corner of the mat. And then look over your left shoulder towards that foot. See this tiny little twist. And then lift that leg back through center. Lower it down to the mat. Just wiggle your hips side to side. And then come to stillness, extend the left leg back, ball of the foot to the mat. Just press that left heel gently back behind you. And then lift the left leg up so it's parallel to the mat. Cross that foot over to the back right corner of the mat. The ball of the foot down and look over the right shoulder towards the foot. And then lift that leg back through center, lower it down to tabletop, wiggle the hips side to side. And then set your hips back to your heels, come into child's pose. Then make your way up into tabletop, tuck your toes, lift your hips, come into downward facing dog. Once you're in down dog, bend your left knee and keep your right leg straight. So you're actively pressing that right heel towards the mat. Might not touch, probably will. And then change sides, bend the right knee, straighten the left knee, press that left heel actively down. And then just come into downward facing dog, so legs straight, or maybe you still have a bend in the knees. Come forward into plank, bring the shoulders over the wrists, drop the knees down to the mat, modified plank. Slow, controlled lower all the way down to the belly, hug the elbows towards the rib cage. And then lift head and shoulders for cobra. Pause there for a breath with head and shoulders elevated. And then lower everything down. Press through tabletop to downward facing dog. Let's take a couple more breaths here in this down dog. And then drop your knees down to the mat. Come back into child's pose. So you can just stay in child's pose. I'm going to talk here for a second. We're going to come into some sun salutations here. They're going to be a little different than what you're used to. We're going to add some lunges into it. So this isn't something you have to memorize. It's just starting to layer in some different things so you don't get bored. So just listen and follow along and know that you might not be at the same pace as me, or maybe you missed something. That's totally fine. Just be open to trying it. All right, come into downward facing dog. And then walk your feet forward to your hands, forward fold at the front of the mat. Some of this you know is going to be very familiar. On your inhale, lift halfway, hands to shins or thighs. And exhale, fold that forward. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, ground through the feet as you reach up. And exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, right foot back for a lunge, right knee down to the mat. On your inhale, take your arms up by your ears just for that breath. Good. Exhale, hands frame the foot, step back to downward facing dog. Take an inhale and down dog. And an exhale. Inhale your right leg up and back. Exhale, bring the foot between the hands, drop your back knee down to the mat. Inhale, arms up by the ears just for the breath. Exhale, hands frame the foot, bring your back foot forward, standing forward fold, front of the mat. Good. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart. That was one round, now you know what's happening. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands left foot back for a lunge, left knee down to the mat. Inhale, arms reach up by the ears. Exhale, hands frame the foot, step to downward facing dog. Take an inhale here, and an exhale. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, foot between the hands, back knee down. Inhale, arms by the ears. Exhale, hands frame the foot, back foot forward, standing forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart, close your eyes, and just take a couple breaths. And as you breathe, maybe you felt a little clunky or your transitions didn't feel very smooth. That's okay, that comes with practice. But now you know what's happening. We're going to do the same thing with crescent lunge as the lunge variation. So take another cycle of breath here. And then you can open your eyes, release your arms down by your sides so you're in mountain pose. Inhale, reach your arms up by your ears. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands right foot back for a lunge. Stand the ball of the back foot this time. Inhale, come up for crescent, arms reach up by the ears. And exhale, hands frame the foot, step to downward facing dog. You guys are experts now. Take an inhale here. And an exhale. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, foot between the hands. Inhale, crescent, arms reach up, take your time. Exhale, hands frame the foot, back foot forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, left foot back for a lunge. Inhale, crescent, arms reach up. Exhale, frame the foot, downward facing dog. Inhale here. And exhale. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, foot between the hands. Inhale, crescent, come all the way up. Exhale, hands frame the foot, back foot forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart, close your eyes again. Maybe you found that round to be a little smoother since you kind of knew what was happening. Maybe your breath is starting to get a little faster. Maybe you're starting to get warm. Maybe you even feel your heart beating. Just take a couple more breaths right here. And then softly open the eyes, take the arms down by the sides. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, just step straight back to downward facing dog. And then take your right leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands, drop the back knee down. You can keep the back toes tucked or you can untuck them so you're on the top of the foot. It's just personal preference. And I'm gonna let you decide. Hands can stay on the mat. If you just feel really compressed here, you can bring hands to the top of the right thigh and lift the torso. So your choice. I'm gonna keep my hands down, but you do what feels best for you. And then if you have the hands on the thigh, just bring them down to the mat to frame the front foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee so you're in a lunge. And then just straighten your right leg any amount. So both legs are straight or straight-ish. You just have one breath here. And then rebend your right knee, plant your hands, step back to downward facing dog. Straight to the other side, left leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands, drop the knee down. Remember, you can untuck your back toes if you want. Hands can stay on the mat, or you can take the hands to the top of your left thigh and lift your torso. Again, you decide what feels best for you. See if you can make your breath your focus here. Now you're probably feeling a lot in your body, and it's sometimes hard to get around that. Take some practice. And then you have the hands to the top of the thigh, bring them down to frame the foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee so you're in a lunge. And then straighten the left leg any amount. You have just a breath. And then rebend your left knee, plant your hands, step back to downward facing dog. Take your right leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands. Spin the back heel down this time. Cartwheel your arms up, warrior two. And then flip your right palm up, reverse it. Take your right arm up and back. And then bring it forward, right forearm to thigh, left arm by the ear, extended side angle. And then come back to warrior two, arms to a T. Cartwheel your hands down to frame your right foot. Spin onto the ball of your back foot. You're in a lunge. Listen carefully. Walk your hands to the left, all the way to the back of the mat. So you're going to circle to the back of the mat. Frame your left foot for a lunge. Spin your right heel down to the mat. Cartwheel your arms up, warrior two. So you should be in warrior two, facing the back of your mat with your left knee bent. I think we got it, good. Take another breath here. Flip your left palm up, reverse it, left arm up and back. And then left forearm to the front thigh, right arm by the ear, extended side angle. And then come back to warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down to frame your left foot for a lunge. Take it back to the front of the mat. Walk your hands to the right, all the way to the front of the framing your right foot with your hands. You're in a lunge. And then step back, downward facing dog. Let's drop our knees, come into child's pose. Take some breaths here. So today's class, I've thrown a lot more at you. You know all these things. Now it's a matter of sort of being able to listen. And sometimes when you're distracted and you've got a lot on your mind, that's hard to do. So if you find you're at facing the wrong side of your mat, it's okay. And then come back into downward facing dog. Take your left leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands, spin back. Warrior two. So left leg is forward here for your warrior two. And then once you're there, straighten your left leg, start to reach forward, triangle pose. I think my Wi-Fi is being a little finicky today. I see you guys freezing, so I apologize. I don't know if it's me or you, but I think it's me because everyone's freezing. Press into the feet, come back to warrior two, bend your left knee. Take your hands down, frame your left foot for a lunge. Walk the hands to the right, all the way to the back of the mat. Frame your right foot for a lunge. Spin your left heel down, cartwheel your arms up, warrior two. And then from there, straighten the right leg, start to reach forward, hinge forward, triangle pose. Gaze here can be towards your front foot or up towards the top hand, whatever feels better on your neck. And then press back up to warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down to frame your right foot for a lunge. Walk the hands to the left, all the way to the front of the mat. Frame your left foot with your hands. Step back, downward facing dog. And then drop your knees to the mat, come into child's pose. Take a couple breaths. To see it so you can watch me. I'm going to introduce the first pose of the day. So, oh, there we go. You guys all look like you're frozen. There you are. Okay, you heard me. So you can just watch me. So the first pose will start standing. We'll just start with the hands on the hips. So the right foot we'll step back about 3.5, 4 feet. So it's not a super long stance here. And then those back toes are gonna spin towards the front right corner of the mat. So once we're here, we're gonna press into both feet, lift the chest, draw the belly towards the spine, keep that. As you start to hinge forward from the hips, and then the hands will come down to the mat. So this is where, oh, I feel a lot in my left hamstrings here. So I'm gonna bend my front knee a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. So traditionally, both legs are straight, but a modification is a little bend in that front knee. So this is called pyramid pose, and I'll recap it again at the end. So coming out of it, same thing, press into the feet, hands to hips, all the way up. So it looks like this one more time. Lift it. Come all back up. Yeah. So let's start in down dog, and then we'll try that together. So make your way to down dog. And then walk your feet forward to your hands, forward fold top of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands down to the heart. And then just bring your hands to your hips. Step your right foot back about 3.5, 4 feet and spin the right toes to the front right corner of the mat. Good, press into both feet. Lift your chest towards the ceiling, lift your belly towards your spine. Slowly start to hinge forward, bringing your hands down to the mat. You have a little bend in that front knee. If this just feels like it's too intense, feel free to just come all the way out of it. If you have a chair or a sofa or a bed, you can put your hands up elevated on that. You have one more breath here. This is called pyramid pose. It looks like a pyramid, right? Most of these kind of make sense. And then press into both feet, hands to hips, come all the way back up. Ooh, good morning, legs. Walk your right foot forward. Pulling my legs anyway. Step your left foot back 3.5, 4 feet. Left toes spin to front left corner of the mat. Inhale, lift your chest as you press into both feet. Keep pressing into your left foot as you come forward, hands down. Remember, you can have a bend in that front knee, maybe hands are on something in front of you so you don't have to bend this far forward. Pyramid pose. And then press into both feet, hands to hips, come all the way up. Bring your back foot forward and just take your arms by your sides, like shake everything out. Kind of an intense pose, I think. I don't want to scare you with it, but certainly you're probably feeling the backs of your legs. Come up to mountain pose at the front of your mat. So ground through both feet, flip the palms forward. Just take an inhale here and exhale out the mouth, let it go. On your inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, step back to downward facing dog. So take your right leg up and back. Bring the back knee down to the mat. So we've been here before already this morning. This time, untuck your back toes so you're on the top of your back foot. You keep freezing, so I don't know if you guys can hear me, so I'm sorry. I keep pausing a little bit. All right, once you're here, straighten your right leg any amount as you walk your hands back and take your hips over your left knee. And then re-bend the left knee, walk the hands forward, you're back in that low lunge. We'll do that 2 more times. Straighten the right leg, walk the hands back, hips go over the left knee. And then walk the hands forward, bend the front knee, low lunge. Over your back knee. We're gonna hold this. So if this is a lot and you're super uncomfortable with the legs straight, re-bend, come back to the low lunge. So as you hold here, wherever you are, the straight leg variation is actually the second pose of the day. It's called half split. So your front leg is sort of in this split position. Take one more breath wherever you are. And then if you have your right leg straight, just rebend it, walk your hands forward. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and step to downward facing dog. Take a moment, just observe right and left legs. Notice how they feel. And then take your left leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands, drop the back knee down and untuck your toes. Start to straighten the left leg any amount as you walk the hands back, take the hips over the right knee, coming into that half split. And then rebend the left knee, walk the hands forward for a low lunge. And then straighten the front leg, walk the hands back. And then rebend the front knee, walk the hands forward. And then straighten the legs, walk the hands back. We're gonna hold again. Remember, you can hold with the left leg straight in the half split. If you're not feeling that this morning, that left leg bends, you're in a low lunge. You have 2 more breaths wherever you landed. And then if the left leg is straight, rebend it, walk the hands forward. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Just step back to downward facing dog for a moment. And then drop your knees down to the mat for tabletop. 3 rounds of cat-cow here. Inhale, extend the chest forward. Exhale, curl and round. Inhale, extend. Exhale, round. Inhale, extend. Exhale, round. And just to neutral, bring your big toes together, sit back into child's pose. Just notice how your body feels in this child's pose. There's a lot of movement today, so maybe you're pretty warm. Maybe even find the position of the hips towards the heels feels a little different with pyramid pose and half split, sort of working the back sides of the legs there. And then come up into tabletop. Walk your hands forward, one hand print, slightly longer tabletop so you can come forward with the hips for modified plank. And then lower all the way down to your belly. Just slide your forearms forward so your elbows come directly under your shoulders. Palms are spinning down, fingers spread wide, forearms parallel. And then just lower your head and shoulders to the mat. Stack your hands on top of one another under your forehead. So your hands are serving as a little pillow here. I'm gonna keep my head elevated just so your forehead can be resting on your hands. And then bend your right knee, pull the right heel towards the body. Reach back with your right hand for the top of your right foot. And then the head can just rest on the left hand. And then slowly re-extend the right leg, return the right hand under the forehead. And then just bend the left knee, pull the heel towards the body, reach the left hand for the top of the left foot, and rest the forehead on the right hand. And then slowly just release that foot. And then you can just roll onto your back wherever you are. If for some reason you just aren't in a position where you can see, you can flip yourself around so you're back facing the opposite direction. And then once you're on your back, just hug your knees towards your chest. Take a gentle rock side to side. And keep the knees bent, drop the feet down to the mat, hips distance apart, arms resting by the sides. And then press into the feet, roll up hips, low back, mid back for bridge pose. And then lower the hips all the way down. Just pause with the hips resting on the mat. And then one more just like that, press into the feet, roll up, hold at the top. And then lower the hips all the way down. Keep the knees bent. Walk the feet out wide so the feet are at the long edges of the mat. Take your arms to a T or cactus. And then just windshield wiper the knees side to side here. Just taking a gentle rock back and forth of the knees onto the sides of the pelvis as the knees drop. And then next time the knees are over to the right, just hold there. If for some reason that's not comfortable for you, stack your your left leg on your right leg for the simple twist that we did at the beginning of class. And then just draw your knees up through center, take them over to the left, taking whatever variation you took on the first side, so maybe the right leg's on the left leg. And then draw your knees up to center, hug them in towards the chest. Give yourself one final hug. And then just release your legs, come into any position on your back that is comfortable. So legs can be bent or straight. Eyes can be closed, or maybe you just have a soft gaze up towards the ceiling if you're more comfortable like that. And then today I'm just going to give you several minutes here of silence. I know for a lot of us, having any kind of silence is very rare. So maybe if you find it hard to just be still, you bring your attention to your breath. Or maybe you think of your favorite place and just see if you can be in that place. start to deepen your breath a little bit. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle your ankles and your wrists. Reach your arms by your ears, nice big stretch. And then just roll off to one side. Pause on your side with your eyes closed. I'm going to stay on your side while I read these 5 reminders for the week. Give energy where you need to give energy. Rest where you need to rest. Your health matters. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of support. Those are nice reminders in the middle of a stressful week. Press into your top hand, make your way up to a comfortable seated position. Those hands. And right here, self, I am worthy of love. I am grateful for each of your smiles. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. See one person moving. Keep getting a lot of freezing. All right, so the 2 poses of the day, quick little recap. Pyramid and half split. So your video is today going to be a little slightly longer because there's different positions. So for pyramid pose, you can start standing, step 1 foot back. Remember, you only have to do one side. You don't need to do both. And then you'll start to hinge forward, bring the hands down. So that's pyramid pose. And then you can come out of that. And then however you want to get there, I would probably come to the half split from tabletop, but up to you. You can just bring 1 foot forward so you're in that low lunge. And then straighten the front leg, take the hips back for the half split. It's hard to see. There's all this darkness here, but I think you guys got it because you did it in class. So those are the 2 poses. Your video might be slightly longer just because you have to transition between those 2 today. Hopefully your hamstrings aren't too sore tomorrow. You're going to wake up and be like, oh, that yoga teacher, she made my hamstrings sore. All right, you guys stay sane and safe, and I will see you next week. Bye.